prohibitively expensive. Arsenal had admirers of Bournemouth's Alex Scott. The 22-year-old enjoyed an outstanding Premier League campaign and is also a target for Manchester United. Now, there's rumours Alex Scott has a 60 million asking price. There's also rumours Bournemouth want to commit him to a new deal and put a release clause of 75 people. Arsenal's drive to recruit promising emerging talent continues. Alongside their pursuit of Leicester City's Jeremy Monga, they are interested in signing Elijah Upson, son of former Arsenal and England centre-back Matthew Upson. The 18-year-old defender is currently with rivals Tottenham, but is set to leave upon the expiry of his contract on June the 30th. Now, he's probably not going to break into Arsenal's first team level. I'd love to be wrong, but this tells me it's just another competitive option at under 21s level and things of that ilk. If he develops, great. If we might be able to sell him on for a profit. I don't know why he's leaving Spurs. Have they tried to give him a new deal and he wants to go? Who knows, people? But yeah, and for him, selfishly, you would get to train with some top-level players at Arsenal, potentially make your debut. Would Monga be part of the first-team picture at Arsenal? Monga, who turned 17 in July, so next month, is already playing senior football with Leicester. He has even featured in the Premier League, becoming the second youngest player when he was brought on as a substitute for Leicester, aged just 15 years and 271 days. He made a further 6 appearances in the top flight before 30 championship appearances across 2025-26. Now, if he signs for Arsenal, obviously the training and all that stuff, that's a benefit. You're going to train with some top-level players. You're going to learn from Arteta, all that kind of stuff. But I do think minutes are currency. How many 16 to turn 17-year-olds have 30 championship appearances under their belt? Which is why I said, is it the worst of idea? Putting the money down. I know Leicester have been relegated. Letting him spend a year at Leicester in League One, building that championship experience, however many games you get in League One, and then next season you're coming through. I can see pros for that. I could also understand if Mikel Arteta does what I do in Football Manager, in that you keep a number of these young players in and around your first team. They might play occasionally. They'll train. Obviously, on the face of it, they might not play that many minutes, although you've seen Max Dowman and what could be accomplished there. Were he to sign for Arsenal, it's unlikely he would feature that frequently immediately. He would, however, be granted the opportunity to train regularly with Mikel Arteta and the first team, enabling the manager to assess him at close quarters. Which players could be leaving? Zolis' interest may be connected to the future of Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli, whose contracts are... Wait, he's messaged me. Let me see what he's saying. Bro, shut up, man. Shut up, man. I don't want to hear that. Man saying he got scammed for tickets. Shut up, man. Shut up, man. Anyways, the Zolis interest may be connected to the futures of Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli, whose contracts are both currently set to expire next summer. Of the pair, Trossard is currently closer to an exit with interest from Turkey. Arsenal remain open to offers for Gabriel Jesus, Christian Norgard, and Fabio Vieira, which for me, that is what you want to hear. Respectfully to Fabio Vieira, listen, Nottingham Forest, I love you lot. You know, you lot gave us kits when we needed them a few years ago. Hamburger fucking about. Fabio Vieira, go to Nottingham Forest, 28 million euros. What is that? Should we say 25, 26 million quid? Something like that. But at the end of the day, we have to just take the hit for Fabio Vieira, put a sell-on clause, keep it moving. Gabriel Jesus, I'll be amazed if we get this 20 million that's been in the papers, purely because he's got a year left on his deal. He's had 2 heavy injuries. If you're trying to buy him, you do have to assess his fitness, not to mention his wages. Obviously, Berta and the guys working around him, I hope they can pull a miracle out. They know what they're doing. But for me, I just want to see the wages go. That can be distributed elsewhere, innit? I think, personally, Trossard is the one that's going, purely because, and who am I? But if Zolis was one of them wingers that runs in behind, takes his man on, all of that kind of stuff, I'd say, ooh, Martinelli's the one to go. He seems more similar, very different, but very similar stylistically to Trossard. Feels like it's a younger model. We've gone over the Trossard versus Martinelli debate. Me personally, I think both are kind of past their sell-by date. I don't think both should go. And I'm not one of these fans that's subscribing to... It's not necessarily that I rate the players or don't agree with stuff, but in terms of us just winning a league title, having to find that balance with evolving, adapting, and moving past players, I don't see, like, I would feel uncomfortable if Kai, Odegaard, Martinelli, and and Trossard leave. It depends how you look at it, because whether I rate Martinelli or not, and rumors are just rumors, right? You do see him linked with PSG, with Saudi, with Bayern Munich, with all of these kind of clubs. So you could argue he's younger as well. There's a market. He's more likely to go. He's on big wages, like big wages. Trossard's on handsome wages, but they're not Martinelli's. He's obviously 31. He's probably easier to move on. There's less there's less years in his legs, really. So it all depends. And I think one thing that helps Martinelli is obviously when you just accept Martinelli for what he is in it, like when you just accept Martinelli for what he is, and for me, I've given up a long time ago where we could be a striker, crazy left winger, the penny can drop in terms of consistency. When you kind of disregard that and just use him as a tool, I know it's scary, but he will help you out defensively. He does have pace to trouble fullbacks. It's just a squad player thing, in it. So it all depends in that regards, people. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Christian Norgard not really had an opportunity in it. You've won the league at Arsenal. Go and play first team football. A career short in it. Fabio Vieira needs to move on. Arsenal also face a decision on the future of Ethan Nwaneri. What would you lot do? For me, I think the manager either has to put an arm around him and say, listen, you're like, no manager PR. You're actually going to play. Just take your chances. Because with him, it's the pathway. I'm calling for another central midfielder. So if I assume this random Joe Bloggs midfielder comes in, you've got Declan Rice, you've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, you've got Zubamendi, Marino and Kai can play there. You've got Eze and Odegaard who you can be a bit cute and clever with in the middle of the park. If you go and get Morgan Rogers, there's that. Right-hand side, Max Dowman's obviously come to the fore. Bukayo Saka's there. You've signed Noni. And let's have it right. Trossard, Martinelli on paper, maybe this Zolis fella, you're all probably going to play on the right-hand side before Nwaneri. So simply put, and obviously Odegaard and Eze in the 10. They might just say, do you know what, there's free money there. Me, I'd loan him out because I do think, the next 2 years, I'd be shocked if big up Marino and Kai, but are they going to be here that long? Probably just needs a pathway. Odegaard maybe even has an uncertain future because there's next to no rumors around the contract. What do you call it? Negotiation. So yeah, listen, we don't need to read this to know Alex Scott's a baller, innit? What are you saying here? Gunnar Ooze. Florian Plattenberg has made a post that there's never any bid for Fabio Vieira from Forest. And then this just tells you that, again, it's silly season because, again, he's out of Germany. Did he say anything about Hamburg? Who knows? Cucurella to Real Madrid is crazy, man. Enzo Fernandez, forget that. Can't lie, man. I'm having Yandy Amande. Apparently Liverpool admire Bracola. Yandy Amande seems to be linked with PSG and obviously Liverpool. There's something in him. If you could improve his end product, there's a player there. Everybody saw what he was doing and what he did to Ngapié, to be fair, in the Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. Anything else here? Pardon me. Man United, they moved away from Elliot Anderson. Apparently Marcus Rashford has a release clause of 40 million. But I think City can't do it and Liverpool can't do it. So there's obviously that. Doesn't seem like there's anything else interesting here, people. Obviously, here's Newcastle. They've been in talks with Victor Munoz. Crazy works. Just send him the money, G. So yeah, let's scroll down. Yeah. Real Madrid, they ain't nothing there really. Nico Paz, he's been linked with Arsenal, as has Fernandez. What's this? Nico Paz's future is still to be decided. The expectation from Madrid throughout the year had been that the Argentine international would return from Como. With Madrid informing him they will exercise the buyback option for this summer for around 9 million. Now, there's also rumors around him and that he's spoken to Jose Mourinho. It's looked shaky that he's going to play consistent first team football. So he's saying, I want to stay at Como. And that's why I said earlier, yeah, and that's what gives me, what's the word? Away from Nico Paz, maybe Arsenal are open to signing a creative player. Because for me, obviously Rogers he's not here, but that would fall under that. You've obviously got Eze on paper, you've got Odegaard, you've got Nwaneri. I might even be missing somebody else out, but then Max Dowman long term as well. Even though he's probably going to play off the right. when you look at that, yeah, when you consider all of that, um, you would be forgiven for being a bit naive and thinking is a priority a creative kind of player that, let's just say 10 for want of a better phrase. But when Hand of Arsenal mentioned we made an inquiry about Nico Paz for whatever reason, that made me think, oh, the club might be open to it. Like if you were to list a list of targets or positional targets, either for this year or the next 18 months, you can make a case of obviously left winger, as we know, potentially a centre mid, potentially a left back, potentially a right back. Long term, we have to look at the centre half position, in my opinion. And obviously that creative player in it. Kai can also play in the 10 role. You're right. Yeah, you do have the tactical stuff of Kai and Marino. So across the course of a season, Madrid can't keep Galera and Paz in the same team. They've got too many ballers, bro. And you see what it is, yeah. Like obviously, there's players that have come through from Real Madrid and started playing and doing all of those kind of things, people, yeah. But they've got it. I know the game's changed because I know Vinicius went there young. I know Rodrigo went there young. But like I always feel on the best of days, we've seen players experienced in their prime and in their peak and at the top and top and top of their game, people. At the top of their game, struggle at Madrid. So when you see young players go to Madrid, I know it's not the same Madrid. I always think, oof, we saw it didn't happen for Odegaard. It took Vinicius a while. It took a lot of guys. And Madrid have a lot of players, bro. They got Galera, they got Paz, they got I can never say his name, Mustantano, the Argentine lad. The Endrick is still there. Paz, they've got a buyback clause. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on. Bawardi has one goal in 58 games. I mean, are you looking at Bawardi to score goals? Bawardi ain't even better than Manu Kone or Chirab. Give over. Yes, he is. Give over. Yo, brother, I think Bawardi, because we already have Miles Lewis Skelly, Tonali would take more game time from him, but Bawardi can play as a 6, 8, or a 10. I don't know for the 10 stuff, man. Does Dalman need a loan? No. He's 16, 17, no. Stop hyping these average players on form. I don't know what you're referring to there, but fair play. I appreciate you. Rice needs a break next season. We do have to be very cute and clever with the fitness of Declan Rice. DG, I remember when Andre Arshavin signed for 50 mil in 2009, our record signing of the time. That's why Arshavin is still a big money signing to me. Still a massive money signing to me. Massive money signing. And that's why, yeah, I'll always have, away from his ability, I'll always have time for him. One second, people. One second, people. This is just replying to something. Keep the comments coming. So yeah, man. Anyways, no one is being disrespectful. Havertz said himself they call him a dog. I don't know about that or anything in relation to that. So yeah, in relation to Nico Paz, there's that. Real Madrid are having a sale of sorts. Da 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 da. Oi. So yeah. Let's move on. Ooh, what's this? Arsenal. I'm excited. You see, I was doing the maths about what I'm about to say. I was doing the maths. Madrid are open to offers for Eduardo Camavinga, who Mourinho does not see as untouchable. I must admit, yeah, is my love for Camavinga a bit too strong? Is it, does he need a new environment? Injuries have shagged him, who Mourinho does not see as untouchable. The Frenchman wants to stay. Those close to him say it's impossible for him to leave. There have been reports in Italy about a possible move for Diaz to Juventus, but the player renewed his contract last season and is only thinking of staying. Madrid would consider a loan move for Musintano, who you were talking about. I would inquire about him. But Madrid, you know what? For these guys, surely Madrid loaned these guys, like whether it's Entry, whether it's Arda, whether it's all these names we've just been talking about, surely they stay on loan or they develop where they're developing. When the time's right, they buy them back. Because I do actually think Madrid need a bit more experienced players. I know they flush some out. I know there's some still there on paper, yada, yada, yada. Cut the chat, you lot are boying it though. 26 likes. We can go up the gears, people. Big up hand of Arsenal. He's spoken. Mikel Arteta is set to renew his contract with Arsenal and spearhead the title defense of the English champions. So we need Arteta to stay. The club approached our Basque native earlier this year. It was agreed Mikel wanted to focus on delivering us major silverware and earn his position with the home of the champions. Total accountability. My understanding is that Enrique Riquelme explored a secret plot to bring Arteta to Madrid if he had won his presidential election. Mikel is currently on holiday, yet actively involved in our transfer operations. While everyone at the club are behaving like it's a done deal, the club hope to finalize the inner details of the most important contract at the club, minimum 3 years. The wheels are firmly off. Viva la Mikel. I mean, I wanted him to stay. Obviously, it would have. I wonder how Arsenal fans would have looked at it if we got. We all knew he was going to get a new deal, regardless, innit? But had he signed the new deal without that silverware, oh, I don't know. Maybe Arteta would have walked away. 3 year deal. Again, from Arteta, I think it's a masterclass because I remember Saka always used to sign 3 year deals. When you sign 3 year deals, you're always 12, 18 months away from renegotiating. And again, you got to know your worth, people. You are one of the best managers in the world at the moment. Of course, I'm not saying you're Pep or Luis Enrique. And I remember some of you lot tried to fight me, and I think some of you will change your stance and agree with me purely because he won a title. But as I said, Mikel Arteta, if he became available, I'm not saying he will get every job, but everyone that needs a manager or whatever, they will inquire about him, people. And if he stayed out of a job for a year, and I don't know, and this is obviously assuming he left Arsenal, and I'm just making things up, but Man United, City, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, let's just say their managers left within that time span. Again, I'm not suggesting Arteta is going to get the job necessarily, like they're just going to, there's no other candidates. He will feature on the shortlist, people. So yeah, man. This made me feel a bit of a way, if I'm honest. Andrea Berta's current contract runs until 2028. As I understand it, senior officials from Saudi explored the possibility of luring the Italian to the Middle East, while Bayern also covertly did the same thing. Andrea promised Mikel last summer he would deliver him a squad worthy of major silverware. Mission completed, with the Champions League now in their sights. Another thing I wanted to mention is Mauricio, who apparently discovered Kvaratskhelia. You know, he's linked with him early in the year. He's obviously working at Arsenal now. The man responsible for scouting Hamsik and Kvaratskhelia, Kim Min Jae, and now Zolis. I can never pronounce his name. This is why listen. At some point, Hamsik, everyone wanted him at Arsenal. Obviously, time moves on. Kim Min Jae, I think you look like a bit of a fraud. It's an Italian Turkish league thing for you, but they got him low, they sold him high. If we can get these guys and they progress all the way to the first team, and we can get like them Eduardos and Hilebs and them kind of unknown guys, why not? Especially if they can be sold on or developed, because we've got two options in this climate. We either scout or we pay the going rate. You know, Ryan's been at Bournemouth for 2 seconds. How much is he going to cost? Kroupi the same. Elliot Anderson, obviously, from Newcastle to Nottingham Forest. Look at the prices going up. Then there's so many examples. And I do want to see Arsenal get, like, obviously, I would love an Alexis Sanchez. And I know the dynamics have changed, but I do want to see us Get a Kante and a Mahrez when they're at Leicester or when they're in France. Get Sadio Mane when he's at Southampton. Go and get Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne when they're in Germany. Get Salah when everyone's still calling him a Chelsea flop and it's Italian league. Fair to say, all of these kind of things worked out in it. So that's what I think you need to do, people. But yeah, there's that. Andrea Berta's current contract runs until 2028. As I understand, senior officials from Saudi explored the possibility of luring the Italian to the Middle East, while Bayern also covertly did the same thing. Andrea promised Mikel last summer he would deliver a squad worthy of major silverware. Mission complete with the champs now in their sights. Don't leave until we rise up the Champions League, or let's do the La Decima. I'm excited. We ain't even got one, people. But yeah. And now Zolis, while Arsenal aim to add at least 2 attackers, what does that mean with the 2 attackers thing, though? Because does 2 attackers mean, because technically I'm being silly because one's young and one's a squad player, but Zolis and Monga, they're 2 attackers. What does it mean? Like, do you get where I'm going, innit? So I very much doubt that's going to be it. But is 2 attackers, Zolis is coming in, then you're going to get a Pacola and a Rodgers or things of that ilk? I don't know, people. So yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards, man. So yeah, what's this? Arsenal aim to add 2 attackers. Do not underestimate the authority and respect this man has within the football club and wider football. 2 weeks ago, I was speaking to the reps of a player who told me Michele was the one holding court without the presence of Berta. So they trust each other in it. They're doing their thing. Berta's allowed. We've got multiple competent people, man. It just seemed like we was doing Edu and Inshallah. 2 weeks ago, I was speaking to the reps of a player who told me Michele was the one holding court without the presence of Berta. This duo act are conducting business seamlessly, as you can see with the revamp of Arsenal's youth setup, for which I am told the club have ring-fenced a special transfer budget. The contract of Declan Rice is also, a major focus for Arsenal this summer, with initial talks starting early this year. As I understand it, Declan is very happy at Arsenal despite interest from the likes of Real Madrid and others. Talks are going smoothly and expect this to get done in due course. Jurien Timber's contract is very close to completion. Minor details remain. David Raya has 1 year optional extension on his current deal. He's probably, I mean, I don't need to tell you what David Raya is like. It's fair to say from the early days of David Raya, because the quality was there, but I do remember he was a bit shaky, and I put it down to nerves really because of the whole Ramsdale stuff. But the trajectory he's been on is great. One of the best goalkeepers in the league, one of the best in the world. Between Barca fans and Arsenal fans, why it's not Garcia or Raya in goal for Spain, we'd have to leave that at the feet of the manager who manages Spain. But yeah, so yeah. He's got a 1 year so he's essentially got 2 years. It makes sense, and this is what I mean by we need to. I think as much as we got to do the recruitment thing, pattern up youth level, find some immediate players to take us to the next level. I do think Berta and his wider team this summer, we're going to have to get rid of people, innit? Just because of resources. Last summer, we brought in the Ezes, the Yokerezes, everybody on decent contracts in Capier. We spent a lot, gave a lot in wages. Obviously, Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, Bukayo Saka, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Ethan Nwaneri, credit to us for getting them contracts done. Their contracts got done. I'm sure at the time, Raya and Trossard got more wages, but not necessarily length. And now you're going to give Declan Rice a new deal, which somehow he's got better than he was in his first season at Arsenal, let alone at West Ham. Jurien Timber the same, Raya the same, 3 key players. So the wages are going to go up. We're still gifting out over 300 grand a week on a Reece Nelson and on a Gabriel Jesus. And if you could flush out the Fabio Vieiras, people of that ilk, it starts to give us a bit more to play with, people. Apparently, where Raya's concerned, well, Timber, minor details remain. Declan Rice, we're looking to get that done. Apparently, Real Madrid were interested. Who wouldn't be? Where Raya's concerned, all parties are very relaxed about his long-term future, as a pay rise was agreed last summer. As for all rumors circulating, as of today, Arsenal are yet to make direct contact with any club for a midfielder. So that kind of big up hand of Arsenal because he's clearly credible, but that kind of pours any cold water on what you're seeing around Bawardi and this one and that one and the third, innit, people? So yeah, man, big up yourself, Chang, man. Love for the love, right back at you, man. Smash the likes. We need another right back to give Timber a break. It's gonna be big up the Knicks. It's gonna be interesting, bro, because I think we do. Because I can't predict the future in it, but a part of you wonders and wishes, If Ben White stays fit and Timber, if we could get a magic brush and these lot stay fit, we're cool in it. But do we want to gamble on Benjamin White's fitness? Or if you do get an offer from, I don't know, Everton with the last club links I saw with Benjamin White. If you get an offer, do you move him on, get a right back on less wages, who's obviously more durable, can help us out? We were linked with Fresneda when he was in Spain. We're no doubt going to be linked with him again, people. So yeah, man. Is what it is. Spurs bottling again. What do you mean? I really think that is going to be our best business, extending our most important players. Watermelon, I can't lie. Like keeping players, improving players, is not seen as the sexy thing. Obviously, new players is all the range for us common fans, in it. We want new players, want to get whatever. But if doing everything new manager, new players was everything, then City wouldn't have done beyond the obvious. Somebody apart from Liverpool and Arsenal, someone else would have snatched their chain. I do think you have to retain a group and improve a group. Look at David Raya's improvement. Like David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba's trajectory, so on and so forth. You get where I'm going. That's a key part. And that's why I don't advocate massively tearing up this squad. You know, you saw Liverpool last season. There's too much change. We've got to find that balance of we can't keep things the same, but we need to keep things the same. We can't change too much, but we do need to change a lot. Life is a massive contradiction, as you guys know, man. We're giving players big money, but running them into the ground, recipe for disaster. I want Muniz from Palace. I reckon he goes Spain. Timber is crooked. I hate that, man. Less said that. White leaving. I like Adam Wharton, but Adam Wharton, I can't lie, Berta stocks is through the roof at the moment. If Saudi forward with the through bag can see him doing what most demand them have done, stay for a few years, earn that generational piece, then cut while stocks are high. Wanyeri should be sold with a buyback clause. Hit the likes. Arteta should definitely be staying. Half price. Declan Rice is signing a new contract as well, according to reports. Camavinga, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Camavinga has muscle injuries at least once a month. Darkness in it, really and truly. So, yeah, that's what Hand of Arsenal is saying. And, again, news for me. Apparently, taking a leaf from Arsenal's playbook, Tuchel set-piece plan. Arsenal are set-piece masters. One sec, people. One minute, you're getting something. Sorry, people. I'm trying to do several things. I'm trying to conduct several things while I'm here with you guys. Fucking hell, man. The things I do for being a good person. Sorry, folks. Let's forward that one. Now you lot can leave me alone. I've did my part. I hope. Things I get for trying to get good karma. So yeah, there's that, people. But yeah, we have to crack on. Long story short, Arsenal are set-piece masters. Apparently, England are trying to copy us. Fair play. I've read the article already. This is what I meant to bring up, people, and this is actually of more interest to me. Arsenal exploring the addition of an attacking specialist to the coaching structure after internal analysis highlighted concerns over creativity and attacking output. The impact of Gabriel Heinz's arrival has highlighted the value of targeted appointments to address specific performances within Mikel Arteta's system. Me, I'm all for that because as a manager, bro, it's like coaching in school. Obviously, how good we are in defense, how good we are or aren't in attack, ultimately it comes back to the manager. But in reality, yeah, in school, there's a class of 30 kids, right? I wish it wasn't like this, but you kind of have to have a one shoe fits all. Like if this kid, is a bit slower than everyone else and I give him all the attention or more attention, then the other 29 are going to be robbed. And when you think about it, in reality, preseason, Arteta's got all the time in the world. But when a season's going on and you're doing, working on certain tactics to play certain opponents, you're doing all of these kind of things. How much can Arteta specifically dedicate to individuals and collective play? So if he's doing the overview thing and you've got Nicholas Hover with set pieces, Gabriel Heinz, defensive positioning, a specific coach that obviously helps with player improvement. We all watched the All or Nothing and we've seen that Ben White clip. For me, I'm all for that, man. And I think many a club has that already. Now, I know we just went over what Hand of Arsenal said, But Arsenal have begun talks to sign Bawardi. Leo have valued him at about 60 million, while Arsenal face competition from PSG, Chelsea, and other big clubs, people. Mikel Arteta wants to rotate 4 midfielders next season: Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and a new signing. Arsenal have called their interest in Mateus Fernandes, who seems set to join Manchester United. Arsenal felt that West Ham's 80 million valuation was too high, so it seems like he's going to Man United. I don't think Man United are paying 80 million. The deal might touch 80 million with certain things, but I think that's done for 60 and some change, man. We're still linked with Bawardi, according to Fabrizio Romano. Even before the World Cup, some of the biggest clubs in the world started some conversations with Bawardi's agents. I can tell you that between January and now, for sure, he has been approached by PSG. PSG love Bawardi. Then we have to mention also English clubs started conversations for Bawardi. For example, there were direct contacts with Arsenal and direct contacts also with Liverpool. So both clubs had a meeting with the agent of the player. Apparently, the president, apologies, of Leo said, we'll talk about it, in brackets, transfer speculation. With Bawardi, to be very sincere, it has also been the subject of our discussions. We have been very